Hey, happy Saturday, nerds! Here we are again with another episode of Press Start, guys. How you doing this weekend?
I'm doing good, man. How about y'all?
Not bad, not bad at all. I just
Doing
had
pretty good, man.
had a pretty good weekend last weekend. If you guys weren't able to see, speaking of which, thank you everybody for viewing the videos that I did for the Press Start pop-ups for the San Diego Comic Con. I had a blast. Did some great interviews and got to see a lot of amazing stuff.
That's pretty awesome, bro. I hope to get there one day.
Yeah. Speaking of which, welcome new member of our team, Steven. Introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? I'm Steven. A little bit about myself. 28, father of four. Been married for about 3 years now. Um, I love games. I love any kind of game, guys. So I'm glad to be on the team.
I appreciate you having you, man. We're always good having new set of eyes, new set of ideas, and new stuff to talk about. That's the main thing. Speaking of which, we got two new topics tonight. But first thing, before we start talking about anything, let's really talk about, what we've been doing recently. So, Roshan, what have you been watching? Anything new? Been playing any new games?
Okay, I've been playing in Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but I'm going to talk about that this week. Um, Mainly, I've been getting caught up on shows and just getting geared up for the return of the Maker, Evil Reed Richards from the Ultimate Universe, and yeah, as far as TV shows, getting started season 3 of Star Trek Next Generation, which you can tell the production value jumped way up during that season. It looks so beautiful. But getting ready for Picard after that teaser trailer the other day.
What about you, Steven? What have you been playing recently?
Let's see. I've been playing House Flipper. If you guys haven't played it, it's pretty relaxing and interesting to be honest. I picked up Goat of Duty as well.
Wait, hang on. Let's go back to the first one before we go on Go to Duty, because that alone's got my attention. But House Flipper, like, are you actually playing a game where you're like, you know, cleaning up houses to sell them?
Yep. Cleaning up houses, selling them, doing the yards, you name it. And you paint, you do the floors, you put in furniture, and then you sell it.
I'm trying. I can't keep a straight face.
I know you can't.
Here's the problem with somebody like myself. If I play a game like that, my wife's gonna make me do the real stuff. It's like, well, you did in the game. Obviously, you know how to do in real life. And I'm like, damn it. I would have no
Oh,
room to
God.
talk. Zero. I'm like, it's like, honey, I don't know the controls in real life though. It's way different. I'm not good at this whole VR thing.
Um, yeah, man. It's just got a different vibe to it, man. It's kind of relaxing. It kind of makes you like unwind. It doesn't require a lot of brain power. So I don't know if that's something you lack. I don't know.
Ouch. Okay.
I love you, buddy. I
Oh,
love you.
oh, it's on. We'll take it out in the way that we always know how. We'll be talking about that a little bit later on. God, jerk. Yeah, for myself, I've been hooked back into Monster Hunter again. With the new update coming out, I just put in more and more hours. I'm now up to 105 hours of gameplay. Um, yeah,
Wow, bro.
I know this is Judgment Factor time, but I'm ecstatic for that. And the other major thing I've been playing is the Blackout Club that we'll be able to review next week and give you guys some more information about. Absolutely phenomenal game, and once we're able to, we'll be able to tell you a lot more info, do a review, but give you just a baseline. Picture Boxcar Kids with Rob Zombie mixed in. I mean, that's the only thing I could say, and that confusion alone should get you interested. This is the most fun I've had in a multiplayer game in a very long time.
Nice.
And then, other than that, as far as TV shows, finally got time to sit down and start watching Cobra Kai and start getting caught up on season 2. I'm a little behind the schedule, but hey, I'm hooked in about halfway through the season. Can't wait to finish it up.
Heck yeah, dude.
It's a great show.
Oh, it's a fantastic show. The thing I appreciate is the fact that they kept the original writing team. That way, the feel and the nostalgia of the show is still there, and it's keeping with the storyline. It's not like they're trying to take away and make it its own thing. It's all parallel. All right. So, speaking of earlier in those pop-up videos, San Diego Comic-Con just came and went. I was lucky enough to be able to go, and I had a freaking blast. Let's talk about some of the stuff that you guys heard about from Comic-Con, and if there's anything interesting that caught your eye. Roshan, I already know something that caught your eye because it's coming your way in the mail.
It's gonna be here Wednesday by 8 o'clock. Yes, the Mighty Morphin. Well, actually, the Lightning series 2-pack with the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger and Zeo Ranger, the Jason 2-pack that came out, really caught my eye early on. My favorite Ranger in the world has always been Jason, regardless of it being Red or Zeo, and I was super ecstatic. I want to say thank you, Jeremy, for getting that for me. I mean, knowing that I'll actually have it this week, it's going to go right there in my Power Ranger case. So can't wait, man.
Hey,
Especially with all the accessories. And,
I got lucky. Like, there was no other way to put it. I got lucky. Because of me having the disabilities I do right now, they threw me right in the ADA line. I was out in 10 minutes. The line was about 2.5 hours long. They were willing to work with me. I asked them, I was like, how long is the wait? I'm like, there's no way I could stand that long. And they said, why don't you go in the ADA line? And I just look at them like stupid. I'm like, there's an ADA line? Like, go walk over there and tell them you're ADA. And as soon as I did that, they put me in the front of the line. I'm like, I feel guilty about this. This doesn't feel right.
well, legitimate pain, man. You're a legitimate disability. So I hate to say it, but it worked out for me.
No, there's no way to put it. It did work out for you.
I do appreciate that.
Hey, no problem whatsoever, man. I'm glad I was able to help you. For myself, the one thing, obviously going back on the topic I was talking about before, Monster Hunter. Capcom had a huge exhibit set up with Monster Hunter Iceborne. With that coming out in a couple months, I am ecstatic. That's going to be a huge update, and with it being an update, it's actually more going to be like an extra game on top. So people are freaking out about a $40 DLC. I'm like, picture just paying for a new game. That's what you're basically doing. And in all honesty, with how much DLC Capcom puts into Monster Hunter, you basically get for 2 to 3 years free content. They don't charge you for the basic DLCs. All their new updates, all their new monsters that they bring out, everything is always free. So it's one of those things that the fan base always appreciates. That you guarantee that the stuff that comes out is not going to be the only stuff that's going to be with that game, and you don't have to worry about paying for anything else. So I'm ecstatic about that.
Heck yeah.
Now, did you guys see that? Did you guys see me talking to the Bandai Namco booth?
Yeah.
So that Black Medallion game, I am ecstatic for that. Just for a couple reasons. One, I love story-driven based games. I don't know if you guys have played anything like that before. Like, have you guys played anything story-driven?
Yeah, I kind of, like I said, I play a lot of different games. So yeah, story-driven helps.
Yeah. I'm talking about like the true story-driven ones, like Until Dawn and Heavy Rain, stuff like that, where there's not much gameplay. It's like true, the story drives everything.
I played Heavy Rain.
Yeah, I love games like that just because you're watching a movie. I mean, that's the thing. And this game looks gorgeous. Here's the best thing about it. It's going to show how real people are with each other. Because not only does it have a one-player mode, but it has a 5-player story mode that you can do, where you and 4 friends can go out and go do things. And as things happen, you make decisions. And see how people really think about you.
Wow.
Here's the reality. It's survival. And if you play it as if it's a game in that style, people are going to be like, you jackass! And in reality, if I'm going to put myself in danger, or am I going to save myself? What's the benefit of saving you? What tools do you bring to the table? If the answer is nothing, nice knowing you. Come on. I'm wearing an RPD shirt. I've been playing enough survival horror games to know the person that runs in to try to save somebody usually gets killed.
Agreed.
Was there anything else you guys saw that really caught your eye?
Marvel?
Yeah, MUA 3. That's one thing. Or are you talking about the Marvel
The,
timeline for
the
the next couple of years?
yeah, the timeline for the next couple of years. I'm actually pretty happy.
I mean, who wouldn't be? The fact that we have an idea of what direction we're finally going now, because the magic question everyone kept asking is what's going to happen after Endgame. Well, question answered. We have next 2 years set up. We have a rough idea of what we're going to be looking at, and in all honesty, I can't wait.
Yeah.
What's the next movie to be
Next,
released? I forgot to look at the timeline and see what the next one off top of my head.
Black Widow, because they've already started production on that.
Okay, I think Steven's going for the quick save.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
My bad.
All right, give me a second here.
Also, keep in mind that there's other movies that have not been announced that will be coming out in the next 2 years.
Oh, I figure there's going to be some ones that are going to be popping up during different events and stuff like that. They're not going to give the entire timeline away. They have to have a way to be able to entice us to come to more stuff. In all honesty, we know Marvel. They have franchised this universe so perfectly as far as the movies are concerned. I'm not worried.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy with the direction they're going.
And the funniest thing is, if you're really looking at it from a long term, most people don't hear it this way, but if you actually look way back, the only thing you have to say is thanks, Blade. Reality. Like, Blade
No.
set the New Day universe.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for the Blade movie. I love the old ones, but I'm waiting. I can't wait for the new one.
Well, with the new CGI that we have and how the direction that we finally changed and kind of really took it on board, that style of not it being like a campy extra world like in like Batman Forever, but actually real life, like a world that you would actually see yourself living in or an actual town. That's what makes it interesting.
I mean, I'm really excited for the TV aspect of the next phase. You got Loki, you got a TV show. Hawkeye's getting a TV show. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I mean, you just the possibilities are endless now.
Yeah. There's one thing that's really cool about Comic Con. I'm going to talk about a little bit right now, and that's probably one of everybody's favorite parts is the cosplays. You guys saw me post a video of the Manta Ray who did I mean, how much time that took him was amazing. For
Yeah.
those of you that have seen it, go to the Facebook page. This guy took 9,000 land cards and made a full blown samurai, like head to toe armor, including a freaking samurai sword. And I'm just looking at him like, I don't have that much patience.
Yeah, I was looking at that and I'm like, I don't have enough time in the day to do this.
Well, he got sponsored by the local shop that I don't know what shop sponsored him or anything, but that's how he was able to do it. They sponsored him and gave him all the lands for free because he was willing to do it. So I don't know how long he was working on that altogether. As far as like he said, 90 hours of work, but I don't know like how long was that 90 hours. Was that 90 hours over 2 years? Was that 90 hours over 6 months? It depends. Because hour here, hour there can go a long way over a long period of time. But if you crunch that out in 3 months, I ain't got that type of time. But in all honesty, the one thing that you'll see in general with the cosplays, and it pisses me off every year, is when new people go to cons. Now, Roshan, you been to a con before?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now, Steven, you haven't been to a con though, have you?
No.
Okay. So this would be a topic that'd be good for you to learn off of, and this is etiquette. Cosplay
I know
etiquette.
this is going.
You know exactly where I'm going with this.
Oh yeah. It's the reason why body spray was invented.
So, cosplay etiquette number 1, which in general for anything, if you're going to a con, shower. No, there's so much BO. You don't realize how much picks up in a room until you have 30,000 plus people in the same room. And most people shower. Then you'll find that one person that walks by and you're just going, and that smell stuck in your nose for a solid hour.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
It's like you want to run up to him like a priest and bless him with freaking Febreze and Axe. No, but the main thing is the cosplays themselves, though. In all honesty, and that's the when it comes to the etiquette of like when you're actually cosplaying yourself. Now, I did a cosplay this year. Marvin, I know you have the evidence. Just make it happen. He's gonna be putting up any second now, but so to give you guys a heads up, my daughter came with me this year, and then one of her friends came into town. So we were trying to do a 3-person cosplay. So trying to find a 3-person cosplay for, you know, for relatively cheap, especially last second, we did in less than 5 days. We were just kind of figuring out last second what could we do, and then we started going through, and a light bulb clicked off when we saw one, and you guys can call me Buttercup because I dressed up like a Powerpuff Girl in a dress and everything. And yes, I will put this on the Facebook page. I have no shame, along with the other pictures that went with it. Because while walking around, dressed up in a full dress and everything, we had 3 other guys that were dressed up as the enemies from freaking Powerpuff Girls. You know, him, Mojo Jojo, and all that. And so we did a fight scene picture that we did. And then Tara Strong was actually there. And while Tara was there, she saw us, and I got a Dad of the Year award for her. So obviously, you know, arrogance, you know. Tara Strong called me a cool dad, even though I'm in a dress. I don't care. I'm like, I love it.
I would do it for my daughter.
Okay, so can I try dueling?
Yeah, so I took my son the last day, and he got obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, so he keeps bugging me to put it on his tablet. He's like, Duel Links, Duel Links, Duel Links, Duel Links, Duel Links, Duel Links. I'm like, it's like, I'm busy. It's like, no, not busy enough. Duel Links. But in all honesty, when it comes to the etiquette side, one of the things that is one of the biggest courtesies to do is before you videotape or take a picture of somebody, ask them.
Ask.
Yeah,
It's common sense.
You'd think that. And then people will jump out in front of you and try to snap pictures, and they'll get upset. Like, and it's like, no, I got somewhere I'm trying to go to right now. There's an event, especially the professionals. The professionals are usually, you know, they're paid to be there to go to specific things, or they're sponsored by people. So they have specific events that they have to be at. And when you jump in their way and you take away from their time, they're losing money.
It's just like with a celebrity. You know, if you see one out in public and you're going to be like, are you going to pull your phone out and just take a picture? Because they're going to get pissed if they're trying to get somewhere. I mean, that's how I see it.
If it's like a drive-by and you see him, it's like, oh, hey, I just saw this person at the airport. I mean, that's one thing. But if you like literally getting in their way and stuff, like basically paparazzi status, nah, it's not cool. And here's the thing: most people will say more than willing to say yes, and they'll pose for you at a con. That's why we're there. Part of it is for our own ego, and the other part is just to have fun. I mean,
pretty much.
I mean, this is the way that me and a couple of the guys were talking about it at Comic-Con this year. I mean, I've really come to the conclusion that Comic-Con is basically, or any type of Comic-Con is like a pride day for freaking super geeks. So we're able to be our full selves and not be able to be shamed whatsoever.
I like that.
It's a reality, because how often would I be able to wear a dress as Buttercup and not get judged, instead get props for it?
Well, no one said you weren't judged that day.
Oh no, I was judged probably by a few people, but for the majority of the day, I was getting nothing but props.
Yeah,
for free stuff because of it, so I can't complain.
That's super awesome.
It was a blast. I don't care, you know. Yeah,
Hell yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Green's flattering on me.
It brings out your eyes.
Aw, you've been paying attention.
Sure do, Buttercup.
Aw. I hate you. Why did I chip that to you again? I wonder if I could reverse the tracking now. I think I can do a stop. I can make it happen.
Oh, goodness.
No, but one of the other things, in all honesty, is like when somebody, if you want to, you know, tell somebody they look great, just tell them they look great. You don't have to be a jerk about it. You will see some very sensual cosplays of some women that are, you know, very tight clothes. They want to express themselves in that way. They want to look very sexual. That's great. That's on them. It's their bodies. One, you don't have a right to freaking touch them. If they don't want you to take their picture, don't take their picture. Three, if you say something rude to them, they have a right to say whatever the hell they want in return. In all honesty, you just have to look at them and say, "You look amazing. I love the way that looks on you." And if a conversation starts from there, awesome. But just like anything else, they're not there just for you. They're there for themselves.
You got a point there, my dude.
I mean, I saw there was two ladies I saw. They weren't it wasn't very sexually played cosplay, but they were two ladies I ran into last year during 2018's Comic Con, and I talked to them for a little bit, just saying that I saw them in the same cosplay. I actually love the effects on it. You know, they appreciated the compliments. We talked for a while, and that's it. It's not that hard to be able to talk to someone with a cosplay. Just ask a couple questions and start a conversation. That's what we're there for, is to talk to each other and to go out and, you know, see the booths. Now, Roshan, what type of experience do you have at your cons that you've been to?
Well, so I have cosplayed a couple of times. I did Claw from Black Panther.
Nice.
Yeah, that's actually where that's actually where I got introduced to Alpha Nerds. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, it was pretty fun. But yeah, no, people you know, like you said, people come up, they'll just take a picture with you, trying to get somewhere. Be considerate. I was at a booth for Heroic Inner Kids, and people would come up and they're like, "Oh, you look really cool." That's what I'm here for. I'm here to interact with you people. I mean, I want to interact with you people. You know, I hope you want to interact with me. But yeah, for the most part, I see a lot of people. A lot of people are very considerate, and then you just have a couple of people that they try and ruin it for everybody. They pretty much.
They're usually the first timers that don't know the rules. They're just unwritten rules, and you could tell when the first timers there by the way they maneuver through things, by the way they talk in general, by the way they interact with people, and they stick out like a sore thumb every time.
Yeah.
So, Steven, by the way, at TwitchCon, if you do something stupid, I may smack you upside the head and go like, "Bro, stop."
I'm a grown adult. You know, I'm not that guy, but I appreciate you.
Yeah, but there's etiquette things that you may not know.
Well, that's why I got you with me, my dude.
Exactly, and we're gonna have a blast.
Yeah.
No. Other than that, though, that's just the main thing when it comes to that. You know, cosplaying is a lot of fun. So, any of you that have not done it yet, go for it. Because you get to be somebody else. You literally get to put on somebody else's skin and have fun and pretend to be another character. You know, I've done a couple other ones before. I did some Kingdom Hearts ones. My daughter did Kyrie from Kingdom Hearts this year, and like I said,
Oh,
it just gives you
nice.
an opportunity to change your personality and be something new and creative. And the reaction that everybody else gets seeing you just pumps you up even more and brings your spirits up. It's great. Except for those one or two jerks that make those nasty comments, and that's the last point I'll make. If you're gonna say something freaking jacked up, keep it to yourself. In all honesty, because unless you want everybody there to give you a dirty look or somebody possibly punching you in the face, you don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the next topic because it actually rolls right into punching people in faces and stuff like that. Ironically, and we actually got a revolution going on right now in the wrestling industry. And I know you two will both be in agreement on this one. Roshan, you actually were just at an event, what, a week ago? 2 weeks ago?
Yep. Beginning of July, I was at. Oh my gosh, it was the absolute best. It was the best event I've been to, and I've been to quite a few events at this point.
Yeah,
It
and I
was,
watched the video that you posted of the replay of the Osprey match, and I just love these extremely technical wrestlers that put on phenomenal shows. And, you know,
Oh yeah.
me and Steven were talking about this because we play WWE 2K19 together sometimes. And, you know, you play games like that, and you just watch the matches, and there's two things that makes a great match. You need to have talent, and you have to have strong commentary. If you got both of those, the match will be amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. I definitely agree there.
Okay.
And the one thing in particular that is definitely growing strong is on the AEW side.
I mean, you can't go wrong. You got JR, you got Excalibur, and then you got all those other guys that join in when they need to, and it's a great panel. It's not like WWE where you have Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and whoever else on any other night. Like Corey, I just want to reach to the screen and just but
Corey's gone too far. Like, I used to love his arrogance. Now his arrogance has just become pure, just being a jerk. It's like, it's not fun anymore. Now you're just a bully. It's
I
not
agree.
the fun bully. It's not like what it was with the King.
Yeah.
No,
when
and
he
it
had
is.
Lawler used to poke at JR all the time, but it was more fun and playful than anything. And he'd make jokes and stuff, but nothing was like so messed up. You look at him, and was like, dude, that's no.
Yeah, Corey goes a little far. But like I said, with the WWE product lately, it's kind of watered down. They're I don't know. Because they shove the same people down your throats. To me anyways. And then you look at AEW and you're just like, they're not shoving anybody down our throats. They're like letting us decide. I feel.
We're basically deciding on everybody right now. I want to see a good rotation of talent. That way things don't get stale.
Exactly. And they're not like, hey, let's have the same matches every time, because that's just not what we are about.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with WWE. You'll see the same match between the same two people 4 weeks in a row on Raw or SmackDown, or even both. And it's one of those things you're like, I'm tired of seeing these two going at each other. I mean, I can understand, like, them getting prepped for a major pay-per-view, like having little, behind the scenes little fights and stuff like that, where you have, like, backstage brawls, or even, one person has a match and the other one comes in the ring and freaking DQs the match and beats the fire out of them, like little stuff like that adds to the intention or to the intensity getting ready for that upcoming pay per view. You don't see that though, not anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's the good thing about AEW is what they've said is that they're not gonna go with screwy finishes. They're not gonna throw these DQ finishes out there. They want to see a finish. They want to see it go to its extent. Like when Fyter Fest happened, Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin went to time draw. You don't see that. And then you saw the angle afterwards. I'm sorry if there's spoilers, guys. I'm sorry, guys.
I'll still watch it anyways. I don't care. If it's a good match, it's a good match.
Yep.
And then you get Shawn Spears that comes out and just whacks Cody in the head with a chair. Like, where did that come from? That's what we need in professional wrestling now, is like, we need to see that. Like, that's what I like.
And Shawn Spears, when he was doing his other gimmick as the Perfect 10, he had so much potential because he had the crowd behind him the entire time. And they just did not know how to sell him right. And this whole thing that you were telling me about, I had no idea about the whole chairman of chairman of the board?
Chairman of the board.
Oh my god.
Did you see that shirt? Did you see that shirt, Roshan?
Yep.
Yeah, I was laughing yeah, dude, it was funny because he comes out and he was like chairman, and it was like perfect.
Yep.
Because that's what WWE doesn't know how to do, is they're not booking the characters as they booked them before. Like with NXT call-ups, like Finn Balor was totally undefeated almost in NXT, and then he comes up and it's just like, let's just book him as this. No, it's like you got to continue it, like with Aleister Black and Ricochet. Still called up a little early, but great. And, like with the whole Johnny Gargano, like they teased a call up and, oh, never mind, he's going to go back down. It's like, get your bucks in a row and do it right.
Well, it's like when Johnny Gargano should have went up is when EC3 should have been having his name coming up and moving in freaking NXT. And they call EC3 up, and I'm like, this is going to end badly.
Yeah, EC3 was one of those talents, like, they didn't need to call up. He's good, but there's certain talents that need to stay where they're at rather than call them up.
And the funny thing is, in his whole situation, the accidental burial that Jon Moxley did to him, oh my god. Like a simple one-liner you never think would bury somebody's entire WWE career. But literally looking at somebody during an interview, he goes, so EC3, where's EC1 and EC2? And you're just like... Because he had no response. I'm like, oh my god. And literally from that day on, he was nobody.
Well, and it's just like stuff like that. It's like wrestlers like John Moxley are cut from a different cloth. Like you have your Attitude Era esque wrestlers, and then you have your technical wrestlers, and then divas or whatever you want to call them nowadays. But like you have all these different realms. But John Moxley is just a different beast, and he's shown it, especially Roshan when you've seen him at the G1. Like
He didn't get to come to Dallas. He's not allowed to do it in the state.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Hang on, he's not allowed in the state.
He's not allowed to wrestle for NJPW in the States.
Yeah. He's the United States champion that's not allowed in the United States.
Yeah, it's a little storyline that doesn't make sense for NJPW, but it is what it is. It's because he's AEW.
For the American fans, I mean, I can somewhat understand trying to keep things.
It's like he wasn't allowed to carry the title out at Fyter Fest because it was unsanctioned. It was a lights out match. So essentially, the Kenny Omega Young Bucks match with the Lucha Bros and Laredo Kid was the last match of the night. And then you have the lights go out, and then it's the unsanctioned Joey Janela John Moxley match.
Yeah.
It was this big hoopla, but Pac finally lost his title, which I'm happy about.
Oh, finally AEW bound.
I'm hoping. That's another thing is like, how do you guys feel about AEW pushing their characters versus what WWE is pushing?
I think it's more natural talent and letting them, kind of be themselves in some ways. Just talking about Sean Spears again, the fact that how is it that you literally just change somebody's name and do a little tweak and let him be more like himself, and immediately he's a fan favorite? So that just proves it's not the wrestler.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. It's because like Ty Dillinger, when he was Ty Dillinger, it was a good character. He had a storyline in NXT, and then he gets called up, and it's like, hey, let's just job you out. That's not what you need to do. Rotate through your talent. You don't have to have all your talent on one show every week.
You can rotate talent down to NXT. If you have some guys that are jobbing for a little bit, put them down to NXT and let them rebuild back up. I mean, hell, it shows perfectly right now. We have one talent that's back down in NXT and killing it down there.
Two.
I know about Prince Pretty. Who am I missing?
Fandango.
Yep. He just won back.
That just happened last couple
like in the past month or something.
3 weeks, yeah. He ran in and helped Tyler.
Okay, I missed that. That must have just because I haven't.
And Apollo Crews wrestled Kushida last week too.
Oh, on Evolve?
Yep. No, on NXT.
Did he really? Oh.
Yeah. So Kushida's actually getting a nice push, and I'm actually excited for it. But I hope they don't call him up too early and ruin it.
But seeing that whole thought process of taking those ones that have been jobbed for a while, and then giving them a push down on the lower levels to show their actual talent. Most people don't realize that Tyler Breeze is an amazing technical wrestler. They just see him as somebody as a gimmick and gets his ass kicked all the time.
And I'm loving this Prince Pretty versus Velveteen Dream thing that they're doing.
Love that match. Oh my gosh,
dude,
that matchup.
And it's like Velveteen Dream is like Hulk Hogan remixed with dude, I love it.
Yep.
But the thing about it is, what you got to realize is WWE main roster talent is nowhere near what NXT talent is.
And that's what's screwing it up. Is I enjoy NXT more than I do Raw or SmackDown.
Same.
I will agree with you there.
Every week I'm wanting to see Keith Lee, every single week, but I'm not getting.
Exactly.
And the competition team is just so much better too. I mean,
oh my gosh, Mauro Ranallo is the best commentator WWE, hands down.
I mean, every time you always hear my one favorite thing is just after middle of a big moment, somebody gets slammed through a table or somebody comes.
Oh my god,
Mamma Mia!
Dude, it's sad when the NXT takeovers are better than the pay-per-views themselves.
Yeah, and you hear the chant from the audience. The audience loves not just the wrestler but the brand. That's why you get an NXT chant the entire town.
And you don't hear WWE. You don't hear that crap.
No.
But it's like another one I want to.
Remember when Raw was in its peak, you'd hear the Raw's war chants in the background?
Yes. I miss it. I really do. I'm a big proponent that they need to go back to the Attitude Era.
But
But
how do you do the Attitude Era in the new era while still trying to keep in balance with current standards? And that's the line that they got to figure out. Which I think, in all honesty, I think Triple H can make it happen with no issues. He just needs to get the thumbs up from Vince, and unfortunately, Vince is one of those people where he's gonna, he's either gonna give you the thumbs up or he's gonna have his hands all over it. And fortunately for him, he has his hands over basically everything but NXT. That's the one thing he lets Hunter run by himself, thankfully.
I'm gonna point something out that I really didn't agree with. It was NXT Phoenix, right? Takeover Phoenix. War Raiders win the title,
Oh man.
and then they give it up within like 3 weeks because they were called up. And then, let's call them the Viking Experience. Never mind, let's call them the Viking Raiders. That's what I'm talking about. Is like you need a wrestler as a booker rather than a CEO as a booker, because when Vince books these matches, he doesn't see what we see or see what the wrestlers want to see. I mean, I'm glad that the Street Profits got the titles because they're an underrated talent too. But it's just the simple fact that now you have Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman in charge of Raw and SmackDown respectively. It's just the fact that creative needs to get their heads out of their ass. To be brutally
I don't think
honest,
it's creative's fault. I think it's the creative chokehold. They have them basically not able to do what they want. Now, Heyman has already shown with week 1 that he's trying to make changes. The same thing with Bischoff. I mean, the fact that Kofi Kingston threw a middle finger in the middle of the ring on a live showing on TV. That's one of those things where, it's gutsy.
no, I agree.
And
I completely agree.
Those are those little things that they need to try to show some more edge again and remind of those essence of the Attitude Era that are missing. They need to show that wrestling still has an aggressive side and it isn't just a straight ballet.
Well, the way you're saying it like that, why not just extend NXT to another hour?
Because it could water itself down.
I mean, it's already got enough attitude. I mean, to me, it's got enough. It's more towards the Attitude Era. SmackDown,
Well, think about it
Raw.
this way.
Completely agree.
The big thing with NXT is their growing talent pool. So while things are happening in the ring, behind the scenes they're teaching people things too. So keeping it to an hour might be one of those things to show
It gives you wanting more.
I'll definitely want more. I want another.
I know. I'm right there with you.
But literally, they're learning as they go. Like you'll see the botches on there, and the next week they're in the training center reviewing them and showing us, all right, here's where we messed up at. This is what happened. Here's how you fix this type of situation. Make sure it doesn't happen again. You'll see a match next week, and it won't happen again. But the WWE wrestlers are on the road every single day, basically. They have no breaks. And the amount of botches that I've seen within the last 4 months have been embarrassing.
I really think that they should lighten the schedule on all wrestlers and they should tape Raw and SmackDown like they used to.
Yep.
And go from there, because it's just been so over PC. I mean, brutally honest here. Like with going to the PG era, was kind of a big mistake, because I looked up some stats the other day, and it's like they wanted to appeal to more children, but in all actuality, only 10% of their target audience is actually children. So it's like, who are you really trying to answer to? The PG era, the no blood, the no chair shots, the get back to what ECW was. Like, bring out a table. Like, I loved seeing the Dudleys come out and, let's get the tables.
Yeah, because the whole audience gets behind it because they want it.
Or the Sandman coming in and smashing a can of beer on his head and then just chugging 4 beers before he gets to the ring. Like, we need to get back to that. But, like, again, it's not my company, so I can't make that decision. But
Well, and the thing is, like, coming from a parent watching wrestling, and I know all of you can talk about this too. My kids watch this stuff, and I watch some of the more vulgar stuff. My kids play layer games with me. As a parent, I make that decision, willingly, of what they're watching and what they don't. Especially these days, with how much controls that we have over their electronics. It's not like back in the days with the bunny ears where you're able to tweak your way into certain channels and be like, oh, there's the match. I was able to watch TNT without my mom knowing because I had to sneak watching wrestling. She thought it was too violent.
Exactly.
Please tell me I wasn't the only one.
Oh no, trust me. I had a descrambler. We're good.
Yeah, see, thank you.
It's just like I said. It's just the fact. It's like let me bring up another point. 205 Live. Underrated talent, right
Yep.
there. And they're not promoted on regular TV, which let's just throw them on the WWE network, which I get NXT is on the network too. Throw that to the masses because they would love watching those high flyers again. I sure know I did. Rey Mysterio, Chavo back in the day, Dean Malenko. I can go on.
Juventud.
Exactly.
Just go
Juventud
hard.
Guerrero.
Just go
Like-
old school Hardys, freaking flying off of everything.
Exactly.
That was the main draw of WCW.
Was the cruiserweights.
Yep.
And they buried TJP. I didn't like him as a person, but as a wrestler, he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's just like I get the scripted stuff. We need to go to a more strong style and shoot style wrestling.
And
Let the wrestlers tell the story.
Yeah, Marvin's in the comments right now talking about the risk these days. Got to make it kind of PC. Do we need to make it kind of PC? I mean, there's a line that, yes, you do need to keep to make sure to keep within ratings and everything. But in all honesty, people want the edge. They want to see more of the edge and take it to that edge and maybe even a little bit over every once in a while. Take the fun.
I want to point out a promo that was done before WrestleMania between two amazing wrestlers. AJ Styles and Randy Orton.
Oh, that was a good one.
The one on the KO show. That was a good promo.
Yeah.
Where they were just jabbing at each other. And it was great. Like Kevin Owens now. I get he's trying to be Austin again, which is cool. But he's being anti-authority, which is what we need because we've been shoved all this Shane McMahon, Elias, which by God, he needs to freaking leave. Elias is just don't want to get me started on Elias, but
He's a white trash new generation honky tonk man that is not fitting in with this new day. Sorry,
Exactly.
I'm calling what I see.
I will agree with you.
I'll be the differing opinion.
Hey, if you like him, you like him. I can't stand him.
I'm just not a fan. It's because like I see more singing and guitar playing out of him than I do actual wrestling.
And like drift away.
No, I guess it's like to me, it's Baron Corbin. I love Baron Corbin.
Oh, same.
I absolutely love Baron Corbin, and I think Elias is underrated just as much as Baron Corbin. I wish they would put him in wrestling some more.
Baron's just booking him wrong. That's the problem with that whole situation.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's the thing is like Baron Corbin was that rebel. He was that nomad that didn't give a crap.
I mean, it was
Look, exactly. And then next thing you know, he comes out shaved head, authority style. Like, why would you try to repackage a character like that when he was great as the lone wolf?
I mean, you could have still done with the shaved head thing just because he was starting to bald pretty bad. So the shaved head doesn't look bad on him, in all honesty.
But the thing about it is give other people title shots. Go back to the time where you had to earn your stuff, not because of whose ass you're gonna kiss.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, basically. Oh, am I good enough now, Vince? Am I good enough? No. You walk backstage, you listen to the crowd, and it's like, do I get my title now?
It's like Money in the Bank. Horrible booking at the end. I was expecting to see Bray Wyatt come out and take that 8th spot.
I agree.
And then you see frickin' Brock Lesnar and his overroided ass. And then you're just like, Why?
I was expecting to see the Funhouse come on here. But it's like, let's play a new game today about ladders, and the next thing you know, everything goes.
he's in the ring.
Not even in the ring, on top of the ladder, just sitting there, smiling.
And then he pulls the briefcase
Just
and he
grabs the
goes.
briefcase and just starts smiling at everybody, and then that thing changes and he's gone.
Another point I want to bring up. Finn Balor never lost his title.
Oh man.
Right? First Universal Champion ever for one day.
That whole thing pissed me off.
Like, I get that Seth Rollins is an amazing talent. He's a little rough with the talent, though. Because the Buckle Bomb, look who he retired with it.
Who do you retire with it? I'm not familiar with
Sting.
it. Huh?
He ended Sting's career with a Buckle Bomb.
I didn't know that.
We've not got Sting versus Taker because of Seth Rollins.
Yep. We will never see Sting in another ring because Seth Rollins gave a Buckle Bomb to the wrong buckle, and Sting had to retire because of his neck because of it. Because he hit his neck on the buckle instead of his back. So he gave him spinal stenosis, which is the same thing retired Edge.
That sucks. But
Yep.
It's also, and at the same time, that's kind of the thing that comes with the sport. Now, I'm glad they were able to revamp the Stomp, kind of like they revamped the Pedigree, because the Pedigree actually retired a couple people too.
Well, it's like the Styles Clash too.
Yeah, the big thing with
If
that
you don't-
one is it's just the wrestler. They just need to lean their head into it. That way, that when they land flat, their head's not getting crushed into the mat.
It's like the Tombstone. They changed the Tombstone.
Yeah, it's all about positioning.
Mhm.
little things. Little things. It still has the look and feel and everything. You just got to make sure wrestler safety. I mean, yeah, you do take chances, but there's some things that unnecessary chances and unnecessary risk. Why do it?
Exactly.
Like
But
the old
it's
school curb stomp when you're coming like 3 feet from the air and then stomping them into the ground. Yeah, someone's gonna get hurt.
I'm really glad they brought that back because you can kind of tell that he was going to use it, But it's just like, and then you go back to WrestleMania. It was like, why are you going to make that match first? Like I don't agree. But again, I don't make the decisions. So
It did hype up the rest of the pay-per-view, and I really did enjoy this WrestleMania. So I can't say too much.
I'm not debating the fact.
I mean, the fact that I was not expecting Lesnar. I expected Lesnar as the last match, and then Heyman going out there just going off. And it's like, we need to get this over with so we can get out of here. And that sounds like something that totally would happen with him. And he lost the title. And then when he got the freaking briefcase, the little jokes that they were doing with Brock, they gave Brock a personality. I didn't think that was possible. I was loving that thing.
Brock
It's like,
Party.
He's like reading the contract and has all year. You see Brock like this confused look on his face. He goes, "I have all year." He goes, "You didn't know that? I didn't know that." And just like the whole thing, like them arguing back and forth and just making Brock look like a complete idiot. But it was played out on purpose that way, which was hilarious. And I that part of Brock I enjoyed because they gave him a little bit of personality.
Yeah, it's just I really feel like they bring the Money in the Bank and they just give it to the wrong people.
And once again, Charlotte with 9 titles now.
Oh, don't even get me started about that.
I'll just leave it right there.
I mean, it was a great pick to let Bailey win, but they pulled a Dean Ambrose. They let him cash in that same night.
Same night cash-ins are great, but that was 2 years in a row. For the females.
No. Oh, yeah, it was 2 years. Yeah, because, no. Actually, no.
No, Carmella waited for like 8 months or something.
No, that
Yeah,
was
she
the first,
kept-
that was the first Money in the Bank. The second one was Alexa Bliss, and she cashed in same night against...
That's right. Yep.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking 2 years ago. Yeah, she
Yeah.
did cash in against Ronda when she went against Nia. Okay.
So...
Still, that's another
her
person that
title
doesn't need a
shot.
title.
And then she got the belt from Nia, and then that's when she got it for WrestleMania, and then she held it for the whole year. But nevertheless, they're completely killing women's Money in the Bank right there by having 2 cash-in, the back-to-back cash-ins like that.
WWE ruined women's wrestling by allowing Ronda Rousey to win the title after a month of being in WWE. There is so many more deserving talents. Like I said, Bailey could have won it. Keep it on Sasha more than 2 weeks.
They should just heal
What about
her
Asuka?
instantly and let her just
Asuka, right? Exactly, right there. They took it off of her just to give it to Charlotte so she can get her whatever title.
They essentially buried Asuka.
Yeah, they buried Asuka in 1 week. I didn't think that was possible.
And
Super pissed about that.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look,
Well, it's like
we got the Kabuki Warriors, though. Hey, that's great. So what's
the
happening?
thing about it is, and then they give the freaking Iconics the titles. Like, why would you give the titles to the most annoying, under talented, or over talented? You know what I mean? But there's so many more. Like Natalia could have won the title.
Oh, the Natalia Beth Phoenix, that would have been phenomenal. Like, I was hoping for that so much. I can understand them wanting to give it to the Iconics because they're one of the only true tag teams left in that division for the time being.
They're great heels.
And they are
They're great heels, yeah.
But here's the thing:
But
as soon as they picked up the title, they did not. They made them look like trash. And then when you do that, what did that title make it look like? A trash title. How much
Wow.
airtime have you seen the women's tag team title? I haven't seen it
none.
because I think it's buried. I don't know if it's coming back.
Well, 30 days, and you're supposed to give up the title. It's been way longer than.
Well, exactly. But it's just like there's so many more women that would have been deserving. Like I said, Asuka, Carmella would have been a better champion if they would have given it to her for a little bit longer.
Oh, can you picture
Yeah.
if they would have given it to Carmella and freaking R-Truth at the same time?
The 24/7.
No, having
That title
as
is a
women's
joke.
as a joke, have him as the women's tag team champion.
Wearing a blonde wig.
See, that's what we don't see in wrestling too much anymore, is comedy wrestling.
Yeah.
I like the title change under the ring when he got it back from Elias. That was good.
Yeah, well, he's
But-
the reason the 24/7's alive right now is because it was supposed to be the new hardcore championship, and it didn't. Now it turned into this really campy fun one, and I actually like it now.
I watched
interesting.
Raw Reunion last night, finally. And I was actually pretty happy.
Is there anything that's going to be spoil worthy?
Not really.
Okay.
It's just you saw all the old school wrestlers like Jerry Briscoe,
Pat Patterson.
Pat Patterson. Actually, they both won the 24/7 title. Kelly won the 24/7 title. The $1 Million Man won the 24/7 whatever title. I mean, it was
It's a
It was
fun
funny.
little title, and it needs to stay fun. So if they do it that way, like the
I
next
loved it
women's
because
tag-
dude, they had R-Truth at Comic-Con, and then the Hurricane came back
Yep.
at Comic-Con.
SDCC this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was at IGN on Thursday, I
Did
think.
not see the video for that yet.
Well, Drake Maverick was at the Has.
Yeah, in a banana suit.
Dressed up as a banana with a Macho Man mask on. So he was banana Nacho Man or something? I can't remember.
It was funny as hell. And then that whole "you ruined my marriage, you ruined my life, you took my husband." It's funny. But yeah, the Hurricane came back because Shane Helms is actually a producer now for WWE. But he came back and he was like, "What's up with this?" And I loved it, dude. I freaking loved it.
They're
He
having
he
fun.
did a roll up and then he tried running off and then Drake came out and got him and then pinned him and it was good.
All right. If we keep going like this, we're gonna be going for another 3 hours on wrestling. So in all honesty, I think we
Yeah.
start talking about some other things. So up and coming events next Friday. Next Friday is a big event. Me and Marvin put out a promo for it already. If you guys haven't seen it, we have a tournament coming up. PUBG tournament. It's singles now, so you don't have to worry about finding a partner. For loners like myself who don't play with other people online, other than begging Steven to play WWE with me, which I had to pal for a little bit, but I was able to get him to do it. Thank you. Thank you for being a friend.
Stick to your day job, bro.
Anyway, but no,
Love
honestly,
you.
we have the tournament coming up. 2,100 on the 2nd. Please sign up. $10. Prizes are on the video. There's pretty decent prizes going on, and no matter what, if you participate, there is going to be a discount code of some sort for the ANG site. What it is a surprise. I don't even know yet. I'm excited to see what it is. And I would sign up if I could, but I'm going to be commentating it, so you have to listen to my annoying voice even more. Congratulations. And you guys really got anything else to talk about right now?
Not really.
Yeah, I really don't have anything else either. Well, until next week. Once again, Steven, welcome to the team. It was great having you in. You know, having the three wrestlers on here, wrestling fans on here, was perfect because I don't think we could have had a better conversation about wrestling with anybody else.
I agree. I'm glad you guys had me, man. It's been fun.
Yeah,
It
speaking of
has
which,
been fun.
I'll call you in a couple hours. We'll get WWE 2K19 going.
You got it.
All right, guys. Everyone, y'all have a good day. Take it easy, nerds.
Hey.